When you're about to upgrade a network, it's easy to feel that knot in your stomach. What if you spend a few $100s and end up with an access point that looks great on paper but never really clicks into your office flow? I've been in that spot more than once, standing in front of a rack of gear, wondering if the newest Wi-Fi 6E model will actually make a difference for my team or just add another line of paperwork. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this video, I'm going to walk through the Aruba AP615 and help you decide whether it's the right fit before you click Add to Cart. First off, the AP615 sits in the middle of Aruba's campus-grade lineup, and it's aimed at environments that need the extra bandwidth that the 6 GHz band offers. That means it's not a plug-and-play gadget for a coffee shop Wi-Fi hotspot, but rather a piece of infrastructure that expects a bit of planning. If you're the type who loves to map out AP placement, run a few Ethernet runs, and manage devices through a central console, you'll feel right at home. If you're looking for a simple router-type solution for a small apartment, you'll probably want to keep looking. What really sets the AP615 apart is the tri-band capability. The 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz radios have been the workhorses for years, handling everything from video calls to legacy IoT devices. The new 6 GHz band opens a clean slice of spectrum that isn't congested by neighboring networks, which translates into lower latency for high-density environments like a university lab or a collaborative office floor where dozens of laptops, video conference boxes, and AR devices are sharing the same airwaves. In practice, I've seen the 6 GHz channel shave a few milliseconds off a large file transfer when the network is saturated, simply because there's less contention. That's a tangible benefit if your users are constantly moving large assets across the cloud. Management is another practical win. Aruba bundles the AP615 with its cloud-based Aruba Central platform, which lets you spin up a new device, push firmware updates, and monitor performance from a single dashboard. The interface isn't just a glossy UI, it gives you real-time radio health, client distribution, and even predictive analytics that warn you when you're approaching capacity limits. For a facilities manager who already uses Aruba switches or controllers, the AP615 slides into the existing ecosystem without a steep learning curve. The downside here is that the full suite of features assumes you're comfortable with a subscription-based management model. If you're hoping for a completely on-premises, zero-software solution, you'll have to factor in the ongoing cost of Aruba Central. Power delivery is also worth a mention. The AP615 supports PoE Plus 802.3 AT, so you can run both data and power over a single Cat5e or higher cable. In my experience, that cuts down on installation time dramatically. No need to hunt for a separate power source or install an extra outlet near the ceiling tile. However, you do need to make sure your switch can actually provide the 30W per port that the AP can draw at full load. A mismatch here can cause the AP to throttle performance or reboot intermittently, which is a hidden trade-off you might not think about until you're already on site. Now let's talk about who should actually buy this thing. If you run a mid-size office with 100+ concurrent users, especially if a chunk of those users are on newer laptops or devices that already support Wi-Fi 6E, the AP615 can future-proof your network for the next few years. It's also a solid choice for schools that are rolling out digital classrooms, where the bandwidth demand spikes during a live lecture or a group project. The ability to segment traffic across 3 bands means you can keep guest Wi-Fi on 2.4 GHz, keep legacy devices on 5 GHz, and reserve the ultra-low latency 6 GHz for critical applications like VR training or real-time analytics. In short, if your environment is dense, dynamic, and you have the budget to back it up, the AP615 gives you a clear advantage. On the flip side, there are several scenarios where the AP615 isn't the smartest spend. A small home office with a handful of devices, many of which are still on Wi-Fi 5, won't see the 6 GHz band used at all. In that case, you're paying a premium for a feature you'll never tap into. Similarly, if your ISP plan caps you at 200 megabits per second downstream, the extra throughput that the AP can provide won't translate into a real-world speed boost. Lastly, Organizations that are locked into a strict on-premises management policy might find the cloud subscription model a hurdle, especially if compliance rules forbid external data handling. When it comes to practical weaknesses, the most noticeable one is the range of the 6 GHz radio. Higher frequencies inherently travel shorter distances and are more easily blocked by walls or even furniture. In a sprawling warehouse or a building with thick concrete, you'll need to strategically place additional APs to cover the same area that a single 5 GHz device could manage. That's